The year was 2014. The call went out. Do you like robots? And drinking? Do you have a drink-serving robotic contraption whose powers of automated intoxication must be shared with the world? Have you created a pulsing apocalyptic juggernaut of booze and steel? Can it go the distance? Do you think your cocktail robot has a chance at winning the title of Best Robot Bartender? Judging will be based on style and grace. How clever, how dapper is that robot of yours? Efficiency of intoxication. Are the drinks it makes good? Full-assery. The opposite of half-assery. Does the infernal device actually work? Or do you have to stand there tweaking it constantly? This will end badly. Extra consideration will be given for terrible ideas and mad science.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Greetings, robot enthusiasts. I am Jamie Zawinski, owner of DNA Lounge. Before we jump right into the robot bartenders, I want to make you aware of a very important anniversary. If you're watching the show as it airs, the date is now November 22nd, 2020, which means that today is the 35th anniversary of DNA Lounge. That's right, the club opened on this date in 1985. The club was founded by Jim English, Jeff Mason, and Brian Raffi. And here are some photos from that opening night party in 1985. And for a brief dark period in the 90s, it was owned by Rob Schneider of Saturday Night Live fame. I bought and rehabilitated the place in 1999, 21 years ago. Over these many decades, DNA has hosted tens of thousands of events, countless bands, DJs, other performers, and has made a home for so many different communities under its roof. Ravers, metalheads, goths, all ages live music, from beloved local bands to legends like Prince, who played one of his last shows here back in 2013. Dance parties, burlesque shows, lecture series, hacker cons, Point Break Live, Rocky Horror, Incredibly Strange Wrestling, the world-famous Hubba Hubba Review burlesque show, Death Guild, the country's oldest surviving goth club with, and this is true, the country's oldest surviving goths. And of course, the Cocktail Robitics Grand Challenge. The list goes on and on. DNA Lounge is one of the very few remaining independently owned, non-corporate controlled venues in San Francisco. As our local music scene continues to be systematically taken over and dismantled by the multinational super predators known as Live Nation and Golden Voice, we need DNA Lounge more than ever. But, like so many small businesses, the pandemic has left DNA high and dry, unable to put on concerts or throw parties, but still with enormous fixed expenses that haven't gone away, like rent, insurance, taxes, and permit fees. The only way DNA is going to be able to hibernate through this pandemic is with the help of the communities that make this place what it is. So now would be a great time for you to join the DNA Lounge Patreon at patreon.com/DNA Lounge, or make a one-time donation at dnalounge.com/donate to ensure that your beloved clubhouse will still be around when this is over. Because we want you to see these robots in person next year. And speaking of robots, over the years we've hosted more than 40 different robots, featuring some of the most clever and hilarious booze engineering the world has ever seen. July 2020 was to be our 7th annual Cocktail Robitics event, and then the Rona. So this year we're doing it a little differently. Instead of our usual in-person drunken debauchery, this year we're bringing you an in-depth look at just a few of the robots that have participated in the event in years past. But you can still enjoy the drunken debauchery at home with specialty cocktails made by our human bartenders. Available for pickup or delivery from DNA Pizza. Open every damn day from 4 p.m. till 10 p.m. So let's get right into it. On with the show.
Greetings, fellow scientists, and those who love them. I'm Dr. Kingfish, and I welcome you all to the 2020 Cocktail Robitics Challenge. On our program, we'll be meeting with the finest minds in robot bartending and seeing and learning about the amazing machines that they have created to serve mankind. Cocktails. And don't forget the donate button at the corner of your screen. Click on that so that we can all enjoy events like the Cocktail Robitics Challenge live at DNA Lounge in a better future. And now, Ladies and gentlemen, through the magic of television, join me at DNA Lounge as we meet our very first scientician.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Donald Bell and VK01 Off-World Bartender. Hello, Donald.
Hello, how's everybody doing?
Oh, well, we're great here at DNA Lounge in this big, beautiful nightclub devoid of people, but you know, that's just the pandemic. We're going to get through that. But
You need more robots.
We do need robots. We need robot bartenders to serve people in this time of need. And I understand, and I'm looking right at it, that VK01 may just be the robot for this purpose.
Not only that, but he's built to detect between humans and androids, so he'll only serve humans.
That is very handy. You know, if they had that in Blade Runner, things would have worked out very differently.
That's the idea. This is a Blade Runner inspired cocktail machine.
Oh my goodness.
The off-world bartender aspect of it is that, you know, when, you know, humankind leaves for their off-world resorts, they're going to want a bartender machine that can not only serve them a tasty cocktail, but also kick out any replicants that might try to use or abuse the machine or make their way to the colony. So
that's
this
true.
That is both a cocktail machine and a way to alert people to the presence of replicants.
Oh my goodness. Well, see, you know, this is what science does. It finds a need and fills it, right? Identify the problem, create the solution. Now, I noticed that VK01 seems to have a camera eye up there. What's going on with that?
Yeah, this is kind of more like the security camera robot aspect of it. He moves around and he's got a camera in his eye. That camera feed is displayed on the retro little mini TV over here.
Yep.
And it will box. It's running like machine learning algorithms to box any faces that it detects over here. And I can get in close on that later if you want to see it.
Sure.
And that is kind of the humanoid detection aspect of this machine.
Okay. All right. So the camera determines if it's a human. It goes into the monitor, identifies it. That's very handy. Now, I do have a question. This is a question for VK01, but unless VK01 can speak, you're allowed to answer as VK01.
Sure.
And the question is this. You're walking along the edge of a cliff. You stumble and push a replicant off the edge by mistake. How does this make you feel?
I expect he'd feel pretty elated that he can walk at all.
Okay, well, you know, maybe that's the next incarnation of VK01, you know, legs or tracks or wheels, whatever it takes to get VK01 around. All right, well, that's good to know. Now, your machine, I see there's a screen, there's a touchpad, looks like pumps up there. What does this machine do to make cocktails?
You got it. So there's a screen that kind of provides some information, some direction on what you're supposed to do. Right now it's asking you to verify your status as an off-world colonist. I happen to have a stolen off-world ID that I can use. There's a little scanning
Oh, yeah.
in there.
Oh, it knows.
It's a little chime. I think it's from the Shinjuku line, Tokyo rail station.
It sounds like my Japanese wash machine.
Has a nice Blade Runner quality to it.
Yeah.
It's a little ethereal.
Yeah, I get it.
And now you're supposed to place your glass. So I've got a glass here. There you go. There it goes.
Oh, okay. So when the
And now
glass
it
is
moves over
in,
to
the
an
program
Orson
begins.
Welles, an Orson Welles whiskey commercial.
Oh my God.
You can get close on this one.
That's great.
Times by Mirage. we needn't let ourselves be tricked. GG.
That guy has had some whiskey
All right,
in
so-
his time.
So now we got the code. So I'm going to put the code in. Oh, got it wrong.
Oh,
Try
yep,
it again.
you violated VKO01's trust.
All right, there it goes. We got our good code. Pouring the drink. Now this is I call this particular drink Orson's Mirage, after Orson. Here.
Okay.
And it's a whiskey-based cocktail. It's kind of in the
Filtered.
realm of a Manhattan, but more futuristic.
Filtered through Orson Welles' beard hairs, I understand.
And this is kind of the sense of the feed. You can
Oh,
see
look at that.
boxing my face. a little
Yep.
bit there.
Well, it must know you by now.
Yeah, he's friendly with me.
Yeah.
So there's
So-
the beverage. If that's any indication of its quality,
It looks great.
you know.
It looks nice and whiskey filled. It's definitely nice and brown. Yeah. How's that taste?
That's worth a vacation from the planet for.
Oh my goodness, I would think so. You know, if you're gonna live off world, for crying out loud, do it in style, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, this machine is beautiful, and its accessories and screens and so forth are gorgeous. Tell me though, what was the most challenging part of this build?
Oh, probably just getting the finish right. I mean, there's a lot of technical aspects of this. I kind of took on a bit at a time, getting the keypad to trigger something, getting the screen to be able to detect the different states of the machine. But really, I went forward and I had some help from my friend Jordan Bunker. And it doesn't look like it so much, but it's a laser cut wood enclosure. But laser cut wood enclosures don't exactly mesh up with a futuristic.
Yeah, no, it looks like Space 1999 white plastic.
So
is
I
what it
had to
looks
do
like.
a lot of gluing and finishing and spray painting to give it a real smooth, seamless look.
That's interesting because
It took a while to achieve.
so in your case, the most challenging part of the build was sort of the cosmetic aspect.
Yeah,
That's
I wouldn't even
interesting.
say I'm really done with it yet, but I got it to a place that I'm okay with. I think for it to be really Blade Runner-y, it needs to look a little bit more lived in, stepped on.
Yeah.
But then again, I tell myself if this is the off-world, cocktail bar that it lives in, maybe it's a cleaner, more refined space.
Sure, it just got there. It's not like dirty old Earth, right? So VK01, is it? You said I'm still working on it, which naturally means you're a scientist. What do you see for the future of this machine?
Well, I really would like to get it to a point where the human detection aspect of it lock or unlock your ability to use it.
Okay.
Right now, it's kind of a bluff. I'm not really expecting any androids to come up to it to order
I was
a
about to
cocktail.
ask you that.
But there is, I think, even if it can't detect your face, maybe it stops going if there's nothing there in front of it.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, and that also speaks to the bluff of the loop that it's on right now. Right now, it doesn't have a way to shut off. Eventually, these screens will time out and start looping to the next screen, even if there's no one here. So I really need like a presence-based sensor that would allow it to switch on or off depending on if there's anyone using the machine or not. That's the near term.
That is a great goal, though. I mean, that will certainly make the machine even more fantastic. So I have another question for you.
Yeah.
So, as a scientist, you are aware that 23 years ago, on August 4th, 1997, Skynet came online, and yet you're still building robots. What is your motivation there?
To inebriate mankind. I think
Well, of course. The most purest motivation of all. Absolutely. Well,
if anything, this is working on behalf of the robots to weaken us, right?
Well, I think that VK01 is absolutely beautiful. I made a joke earlier that it made me think of the Venture Brothers, but it's just got that gorgeous retro cool to it that just, I know it's a Blade Runner idea, but it just screams to me that I don't know, Silver Age science fiction look, you know?
I love it too. I definitely, I feel ambivalent about it. I agree that it didn't quite hit the mark for like the Blade Runner aesthetic, but whatever this is, I'm with it. I'm happy about where it landed.
Yeah, no. And I mean, it's still, I mean, you know, if you get that little screen to enhance, oh, man, there, you got something, right? Well, now, I know that we are in lockdown. It is pandemic times, but someday, hopefully soon, we will reopen and have Cocktail Robotics here at DNA Lounge again. I certainly hope VK01 and you will be able to come and be a part of that.
I'll be the first to sign up. Absolutely. I love it every year coming out and
And you know, thank you very much for joining us today and for bringing this beautiful machine. Donald, you know, stick it out. Keep working, keep making more robots, and we'd love to see you again in the future.
You got it.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Well, scientists, we are here now with another great builder, Carson Holgate, and their robot, Steve. Hello, Carson.
Hi.
It's great to see you again. A veteran builder here at the Cocktail Robotics Gala, and it's nice to have you back. And I understand that your robot is named Steve. Is that correct?
Yes, Steve the bartending robot.
Steve the bartending robot. Is there a story there? It feels like there's a story.
Yeah. Steve is named after a friend of mine. He works on medical testing devices, but he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Oh.
And just somehow all of the robots in my life are named Steve. There's the bartending robot, there's the Roomba.
And so you've built robots with other functions other than cocktails. Is that correct?
I have.
Wow. All right. So you are no stranger to this this activity, this new era of bartending done by machines for the benefit of mankind. Well, can we have a look at Steve and see what Steve's all about?
Sure. So this is the bottle setup right now. And
Ooh.
here is the hands of Steve, as I like to call it.
The hands?
It's controlled by, yeah, I'll show you the brain later.
All right.
Hold on, let me get the camera right. So this is a particle photon that's like an Arduino, and it's hooked up to a custom motor control board. And this powers 12 peristaltic pumps that all feed their output to this 3D printed thing here.
Did you print that?
No. So my friend Mark did the hardware.
Okay.
He
all right.
custom fabbed the board and did 3D printing. And this is actually version 1 of the hardware because it's a little more stable than version 2. And I thought it would make for the best demo.
And what boozes has Steve got for us today?
We have a selection of gin and rum and triple sec and vodka and whiskey and a few mixers.
So I feel with that many delicious boozes and mixers and 12 pumps that Steve's a pretty versatile robot. Is that correct?
It is.
Uh-huh. And what does Steve make for mankind?
Well, I've got a standard selection of like cocktails that you would find, but I'm really excited about a new interface that I just built.
Well, if you're excited about the interface, then we want to hear about it because I'm confident it's going to be something very, very interesting.
So have you ever been to a speakeasy?
Yes, indeed, I have.
They're like these hipster bars that are kind of underground and they have fancy cocktails.
Sure.
Usually they have a menu and you can pick something off the menu. But if you want to order off menu, you talk to the bartender.
Oh.
You have a conversation about what you like to drink and they build something custom for you.
Right. Okay.
Steve's not quite that smart yet, but he's learning. Let me show you.
Yes, please. While you're doing that, I can ask you straight up, your robot, Steve, does Steve have a self-destruct mechanism? And if so, what triggers it?
Steve does not. Well, Steve used to have a self-destruct mechanism. I had voice controls running for a while, and towards the end of the night, if people got more drunk, the Google Home couldn't understand them, so it was harder to make.
All right. Well, I think that counts. I think that counts as a self-destruct mechanism.
All right. Let me show you the brains of Steve. You can see this.
We would love to see Steve's brain.
Right. So this is like the initial setting of like what kind of drink you want. And because it's 2020, I want something with a lot of alcohol.
Oh, God, yes.
That's not very sour and a little bit sweet. And then I use machine learning to custom generate a drink that meets your parameters.
Oh, my gosh. Steve really is that hipster bartender who's making you a custom drink.
Yeah. And I'm going to ask my production assistant to get me a glass out of the fridge.
And
I'll show you how this works.
All right.
So this is the drink that Steve has guessed for me, with some gin and some lime and some rum. I think this will be tasty.
Little triple sec to spice things up.
So then here's the output of Steve. He'll make the drink for me.
Oh my goodness. I feel like Steve knows clientele. Steve knows what a customer wants. That's beautiful. Now, what's happening right now? Tell us exactly what's going on.
So once I've made the drink on the front end, it translates it into a string of text that it sends to the control board. And then it tells each pump how long to turn on, and then it turns it on for that time period.
Nice. So Steve has guessed, or not even guessed, let's face it, it's an educated guess, what you as the customer want to drink. Now, I think it's beholden upon you as a scientist to try your own experiment and see if Steve did a good job.
Here goes.
Cheers.
The gin and rum.
What do you think?
Oh, that's tasty. That's strong.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we are in lockdown. It is the pandemic, and something like Steve in your home would seem to be the perfect thing to get you through this time. Is that how you feel? Yeah.
It's helpful, but I really think that bartending robots are about friends.
About friends.
I've been building this in isolation, and I haven't been able to run it through user studies. My friends are usually thrilled to come over to a party and test out my new software and see how it works, but I haven't been able to do that.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, at some point, we will get this thing under control, and your friends will be able to come over again and try your cocktails and Steve's cocktails. And what is the part you're most looking forward to with Steve, you, and the reopening?
I guess all of the ways in which people are going to break this new UI.
That's true. Science is at its best when it's breaking. Well, now another thing about Steve, he has, am I right that Steve is a male identified robot?
I don't think Steve really has a gender.
Okay, all right, that works too, absolutely. So, as a non-binary robot, nevertheless, if Steve had a voice and could speak, who would Steve sound like?
I always associate Steve's voice with one of the default voices from the Google Home, because that was one of the first interfaces.
From what?
One of the default voices from the Google Home.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, I got to say, Steve is a very interesting and beautiful machine. The creation of the AI, I guess you'd say, Steve's ability to determine your drink, was that the most difficult part of the build?
No.
Okay, all right.
That was like the easiest part. The hardest part was dealing with all of the bugs that I found while I was setting up. Like,
you got it. That sounds like a story. You got to tell us.
the control boards were too old and they didn't want to sit on the network, and I had to reflash bootloaders and then find the old code and make sure they had the right firmware. And then about half an hour before this stream started, I was setting up and I found that one of the connections had come loose, so I had to pull out my soldering iron.
Science on the fly. That's the best kind, right? When the heat is on and the investors are showing up, and that's when the robot goes berserk and kills your lab assistant. Well, Carson, thank you so much for being with us here, and thank you for showing us Steve. I think Steve is an amazing robot, and you've done an incredible service to mankind with creating something that can not just make your drink, but guess what you like best. Thank you, and I do hope that when we reopen, you will be able to come down, bring Steve or any number of robots apparently, and join us here live at DNA Lounge.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you, Carson, and thank you for joining us. And we are going to move on and see some more scientists and some more robots here today at the Cocktail Robotics Gala. Thank you.
You know, a scientist needs steady nerves. And that's why when I'm sciencing, I always do so with a cocktail from DNA Lounge. You can order them online for pickup or delivery. Delicious single-serving, 3-serving cocktails or bottles of DNA Lounge brand liquor. Find them at dnapizza.com/orders and get yourself a delicious cocktail from DNA Lounge to enjoy while you're making science. That's good science.
Scientists of the world, we are here now with Matthew Dockrey and the assembly line and the cocktail engine. That's right. He's bringing us two cocktail robots today. Hello, Matthew. Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
And it looks like you are in your workshop there. I'm sure you've created many fantastic scientific devices, but today we're here to talk about your two robots, your two cocktail robots you made, the cocktail engine and the assembly line. Can you please start by telling us about the cocktail engine?
Okay, so this is the cocktail engine here behind me. It was the first one I ever made. It is electromechanical and driven by punch cards. I'm going to switch this camera around.
Ooh, punch cards. That is an interesting technology to use. My goodness, there's one right now. Now, How does that work?
So it's a 4x4 grid in here, and the reader simply just makes electrical connections between these pins and the base. And so the card, if there's a hole in the right place, it makes electrical connection.
Ah, that's amazing.
And then at that point, one of these channels opens. There's a valve on top, and then just a servo at the bottom, which will turn it.
And now you select your drink, I assume, by one of the punch cards.
Yeah.
And what are your cocktails that are available? Oh my.
This is the current recipe card that we've worked out. I can particularly recommend the Brandy Sazerac. It's honestly shockingly good for something made by a robot.
Now, you say your machine is electromechanical and that drink is shockingly good. Was that a joke?
Possible.
All right. Well, now, this machine, it seems as though it's a little retro, perhaps,
Yeah.
a little science of a more simpler and golden age. Would you say that you were inspired by machinery from olden times?
Oh, absolutely. This was actually made just after I had toured some factories in the north of England, which still have working, though not used, Jacker looms.
Oh, my. Oh, wow. Now, looking at this beautiful creation, what would you say was the most challenging part of building the cocktail engine?
Let's see. A lot of it, well, getting the sprockets laser cut. At the time, there weren't any good templates for that, so I had to write my own code for making the app profile for those.
Wow.
That took a while.
Wow, that's like like NASA when the early days of the Apollo program having to use bicycle chains to send rockets into outer space. Yeah.
And then the electronics, getting the board made, it wasn't hard, but it was a little bit fiddly to get 16 channels all running.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it looks complex, and it looks a little difficult, a little delicate even. Now, would you be able to show us the makings of a Brandy Sazerac in that machine?
Absolutely. So that's actually the card I have out here.
Nice.
And if you can see where the holes are punched, it's
Yep.
A0, A1, C0, C1, C3, and D3.
Okay.
And if you look on the recipe card, it's here at the bottom, those same ingredients.
Oh,
and then in the
nice.
ingredients list, you'll see that's 2 units of rye, 2 units of brandy, 1 unit of simple syrup, and 1 unit of absinthe. So the absinthe line is throttled. We put these valves in on a couple lines on absinthe and lemon juice, just because you don't actually want 1 unit of those usually.
Okay, yeah.
So
where are the ingredients?
So they're all up here in these reservoirs on top of the machine.
Oh, very nice. I like that.
Simple gravity feed from there, just running through the valves on each of the channels. And then in the middle, there's this funnel that collects them all and funnels them into the cup.
Wow. Well, I'd love to see this thing go, baby. That looks gorgeous.
Okay, so first we power on the whole system.
Frankenstein switch. I'm in favor of that.
If you have a chance to use the knife switch, you've got to do it.
Yeah.
And then get the card in there, and then just pull on this lever. And I'm pulling the lever now.
Throw the switch. Oh, wow. And it goes right in the cup. All right.
Goes right in the cup. The nice thing about this model is you can just watch the cup as it fills, and you have complete control with the lever when it stops.
So if you're feeling a little more sciencey, you can have a little more booze.
Yeah, particularly like different people put different amounts of ice in. So dispensing just like a set amount can be tricky on these devices.
Oh, I'm sure. It's picking its ingredients, filling. It already looks delicious in that beautiful silver cup there. Now, this machine seems to me that once again we're seeing something that is very well adapted to the pandemic. If you had one of these in your own home, it would really get the coronavirus anxiety down.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
It's clearly a robot meant to benefit mankind.
I would like to think so.
Yeah. So how are we doing on the drink? Is it done?
Oh yeah. It pours pretty quickly.
Yeah, it looked like it did. Now,
here's some more just to show.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is that because all the channels pour in parallel, the more ingredients in a cocktail, the faster it pours, actually.
Okay. And that's the benefit of gravity. We knew it had some uses, but that's certainly one of them.
It's simple. It's reliable. It does mean, though, that if you lose power when the valves are open, you're going to have a very messy problem.
Well, try that drink and let us know. I mean, I'm jealous. I want it, but in this modern times, only you can enjoy that drink right now.
It's it's strong. I'll tell you that. I think I need to adjust some of the throttling valves. It's been a while since I had this up and running, but
do you? Because maybe strong is better.
There is that. It'll get drunk. I'll put it that way.
Now, I have a question for you. This robot right here, if it could speak, whose voice would it sound like?
Oh, that's a good question.
Right?
Yeah. How about like Walter Cronkite?
Walter Cronkite. Oh, the most trusted man in America. And your robot fulfills that role. That is wonderful. And I think its level of loyalty and reliability definitely has a Cronkite vibe to it.
Just a touch of old fashioned to it. Yeah.
Sure, yeah. An honest broadcaster of booze. Well, that's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful, Matthew. Now, that's one, and yet you say you actually have 2 robots today?
I do. I need to switch the power supply over, which will take 30 seconds.
Well, while that's happening, maybe we'll show a little B-roll of your machines in action. Have a look, folks at home. These are some gorgeous machines created by Matthew, and we're super excited to have him and these robots with us at the Cocktail Robotics 2020 Gala. Here at DNA Lounge, we're hanging on by our fingernails, supporting your local live entertainment with great events like the Cocktail Robotics Gala. It's an exhibition, not a competition. Please, no wagering. So, well, this is a very, very sturdy looking machine you have here.
Yes, I don't recommend trying to lift it when it's fully assembled.
Yeah, it appears to be real and steel is what I'm looking at right now.
Pretty much. A lot of water jet cutting in this design.
What inspired you to build such a big, meaty metal machine like this?
Well, it's an aesthetic I certainly appreciate, and I wanted to set the challenge of doing something without any electronics at all beyond the motor.
All right, yep. Yeah, I mean, it certainly looks like that must have been a challenge. Tell us about the build on this machine.
Sure thing. So the core of it is this conveyor belt, which is just number 50 roller chain around these ridiculously huge sprockets on either end. Here, I will turn it on.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the drive system using a Geneva wheel. So this constantly turns, but this one moves forward and then pauses.
Wow. That's amazing.
And that moves the conveyor belt down below.
That's great. This is very, very Rube Goldberg kind of scenario here.
So the idea is, here are your recipe cards.
All right.
And each one have a different set of tabs at the top.
Are those also steel?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, this 1/8-inch plate.
And you made those?
So, yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, go ahead.
So if we put a card here, and there's no liquids in here at the moment, but you can see it advances forward.
Right.
And then as it moves along, those tabs hit these cams, this cam valve. And so if the tab is up, as it pauses at each station, it'll dispense liquid out of that valve.
That is brilliant. That is great.
It's a bit finicky. Definitely getting the alignment properly is a challenge at times. And it could possibly eat your finger if you stuck it in the wrong places.
Yeah, but really, isn't that the hallmark of great machinery?
I was willing to live with the risk, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not missing a finger or two, are you really a builder? I mean, we got 10. That's plenty. So, okay, the assembly line. What drinks do you normally make with the assembly line?
So this one's a bit simpler because there are only 6 reservoirs because I didn't want the thing to be, 5 meters long.
Right.
So it's all combinations of, with a base of either Coke or tonic.
Okay.
And then we have gin, vodka, whiskey, and rum as the mixers.
I feel like if, I was stranded on a desert island, I could get by with those 5 drinks.
Sure. And of course, those are arbitrary. You could swap them out to whatever you wanted up there, but you are going to be constrained to this 2-to-1 combination.
Sure, obviously. Well, you know, I mean, it's a great machine and it looks fantastic. I love that diesel punk era mighty metal machine. It just looks great. And it's a nice complement to the cocktail robot over there. Both of them have this great retro feel. It's really quite beautiful.
Thank you.
Definitely know your aesthetics, sir. So, I mean, you're no stranger to the Cocktail Robots challenge here at DNA Lounge. And
no, I've been a couple of times.
Yeah, I've certainly recognized you, and I do recognize the cocktail engine. Are you a human bartender, or are you just, and I don't mean just as a diminishing term, but are you just a builder of cocktail robots?
Primarily just a builder. I do have my mixology license in Washington State, so I could operate one of these at an event. But that's pretty much the extent of my experience.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
It's definitely taught me to appreciate bartenders a lot more. That is a hard, filthy job, I have learned.
Well, it is absolutely true. And you are designing your way through that challenge of the hard, filthy job of being a bartender. Well,
I'm not sure this actually makes it easier in the long run, but it is fun.
Yeah. And it certainly looks fun. And your machines are gorgeous, Matthew, and they are fun to watch operate. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Cocktail Robotics Gala 2020. And I certainly hope we'll see you here at DNA Lounge when we're past the pandemic and we can all gather together again.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Matthew, thank you, and have a great day with your robots, and we'll talk to you again.
Making robots, making robots, making robots, making robots, making robots, making robots.
Let's go now to Kiki Jewel and the Peppermint Tesla T. Well, Kiki, it's good to see you and your beautiful vehicle again.
Good to see you again.
And
so glad we can do this year.
I know, right? Wow, you have huge hands and long arms. So, the Peppermint Tesla, an amazing vehicle, but also a cocktail robot, right?
That's correct.
And what is it? Tell us about this machine. What is it exactly?
Well, you know, a Tesla is a very posh and fancy vehicle. But the aesthetic, in my mind, for posh and beautiful is the Victorian aesthetic.
Sure.
And also, like, what more would be wonderful to have in a car than to drink your tea, you know, as you're parked and enjoying wherever you're sitting.
Ah, yeah.
So I've built in, inspired actually by the T engine. I've built in my own version of the T engine in Peppermint, and I can make peppermint tea in my car.
Peppermint tea inside a Tesla. My goodness, this is the future. Now, I would say that it seems to me that the Peppermint Tesla is very well adapted to the pandemic. Am I right?
Yeah, it is, except that I can't share this with other people so easily. That's the only unfortunate thing.
Okay, but at the same time, you could say go to a drive-in movie and have peppermint tea.
That is absolutely correct, and I am about to go to a drive-in movie in a few now. and also, if I need a little privacy, it's a great place to just kind of come out and have my own privacy in the car.
Sure, relax, have a little cup of tea in your fancy sports car. If the Peppermint Tea Tesla had a voice, would it sound like Kit from Knight Rider? Kit was sort of a posh sports car.
Oh gosh. I think it would probably be more a cross between a sultry, beautiful lady and a schoolmarm.
Oh, all right. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I see something behind your ear there. It looks like, is that a chandelier? A chandelier
There
in
is
the
a
car?
chandelier in the car. Maybe I should take it and do a tour.
Oh, yes,
So we
please.
do have a chandelier here.
Beautiful.
We have, here's the T engine itself. It's a little hard, of course, with the phone.
Oh, my goodness.
So here's the T engine.
Beautiful.
So when you open the door, there's a teacup, and this is where the tea is made.
What? In the little
And,
drawer?
there's
That's
there's
like
tea
Marcellus
bags in the
Wallace's
drawers.
briefcase. It's glowing.
and then some sugar cubes.
Beautiful.
And then let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and make some tea. So I put the water into the reservoir here.
Oh.
And get that started. And I'll put a little tea bag into cup. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Now I see some little electric bits there. Tell us what's going on right now inside the machine.
All right. So we have these are the indicator lights that show what's on. This is showing the T is on and the inverter is on. So the inverter is the power. It's installed in the back. This is the water reservoir. So the water goes down into the boiler, which is underneath, built into the console here.
Very nice.
And then from there, we also have a scone baker, because of course you have to have scones with your tea.
Oh,
and I have
yeah.
some
Oh, my
scones
goodness.
here that are ready to go.
Scones
take
on
these
board.
out.
Oh, a little birdie.
And then there's a little bird that tells when the scones are done.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And then we also have a bird that tells when the tea is done. Yep, and there's
It's kind of like the Flintstones, right? They had like birds that did stuff like that.
telling it that it's brewing. Exactly. They're kind of automaton,
Right.
little bird automaton.
It's like, it's like incorporating nature into your science.
Exactly. I consider this all the modern conveniences of the Victorian era.
Right, of course. Now, Kiki, I have a question for the Peppermint Tesla, but
Yes.
you may answer for the robot. But this question is
All
for the
right.
Peppermint Tesla.
I'm ready.
Ready? Okay. Describe in single words only the good things that come to your mind about your mother.
About my
About
mother.
the Peppermint Tesla's mother. That's you. What would
Smart,
Peppermint Tesla say about you?
witty,
Yeah?
brilliant,
Yeah,
creative,
brilliant.
a little crazy, fun, giving,
So you get along well with your creation.
sharing.
Yeah, caring, yeah. Well,
Very
that's
much.
fantastic. It's good to hear that a scientist and their robot are on such good terms. Now,
I love my car very much.
oh yeah, I bet. I mean, it's so beautiful and it has so many wonderful functions. Now, let me ask you another question.
Yes.
What was the most challenging part of this build?
I have a very fun technical story to tell. So
Yeah.
you may remember Peppermint Tesla from last where we had the tea and the scones working.
Yep.
I did a big upgrade to add the birds and a water level sensor. So when you put the water in, it automatically makes a tea, and a whole bunch of different sensors. Very complicated now. I took everything out. I spent months building this. Everything was working inside my house. And so I was like, it's ready to install. So then I took it out to the car and put everything back in, installed everything. And it would make tea at random times. And it took me a while to figure out. But in a Tesla, there is a valet key RFID antenna. And you have to swipe a card. If you're a valet, you can give this key to the valet and swipe it. And then the valet, can only drive surface streets and such like. But the antenna was interfering with the water level sensor.
Oh my
and
goodness.
it took me a long time to figure that out. So it was kind of a first world problem that, the technicalities of this and the fact that I'm in a car with a lot of complicated signals, a lot of technical things going on to integrate my own stuff was a challenge.
It's almost like a clash of centuries. The 21st and the 19th
Yes.
fighting it out in the Peppermint Tea Tesla.
Exactly. It was both very frustrating but also very funny. So it took me 6 months to kind of both find the time because it's been a pandemic, but it's been the humor of it kind of kept me persistent until I could fix it. So
Well, the birds and the new water level sensors, I mean, yes, I did notice those were new from before, and they do really add to the experience. I think it's even more fantastic than the last time I saw it. And I mean,
thank you.
Absolutely. And you built an amazing robot.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'm awful glad to have you back and to see the Peppermint Tesla again. I certainly hope that when things open up again and we're past this awful pandemic, we'll see you and the car here at DNA Lounge for our live robot event.
I can't wait. Wouldn't miss it.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for bringing back the Peppermint Tesla, and we will talk to you again soon, I'm sure.
Yes, I look forward to it. Thank you so
All
much
right.
for doing this. I really appreciate you hosting us even during the pandemic and making this happen. It's awesome.
Oh, absolutely. DNA Lounge is here for robots anytime.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. You know that DNA Lounge is also home to DNA Pizza. Operators are standing by to send direct to you or for pickup delicious pizzas, specialty sandwiches, gorgeous snacks like chicken nuggets and loaded tater tots, all available for you right now from DNApizza.com. Go online, order for pickup or delivery, and enjoy the bounty of DNA Lounge's delicious offerings. I always have a great, big, delicious pizza whenever I'm making science, and so should you.
Welcome back, scientists. Here at the Cocktail Robotics Gala 2020, we've got with us Team Allebelle here, a pair of scientists working together. There's both of them. Aren't they beautiful? And folks, this team has a proletarian, a robot of the people, a hard-working, working-class robot named Barback. Hello, Team Allebelle.
Howdy.
Good to see you here today. Now, as the creators, the builders of Barback, what was your inspiration for this machine?
Well, you know, in our current climate of social distance needs, we wanted a bartending robot that could, get out amongst the people. You notice that we took time out of our lab to take a walk down through the neighborhood.
Yes, I see. That's very nice. Outside in the fresh air with a cocktail.
Well, unfortunately, my glass is empty.
Oh,
think,
no.
let's see if we could just turn the bar back for a little bit of help on that.
Oh, come on, Barback. You can do it.
Why'd you fill me up first? Oh, come.
Oh, what? Look at this. Wow. Barback is a personal bartending robot.
How about me?
Barback is something you can take with you. Look at that. What is Barback dispensing today?
A drink.
A drink?
We'll call it the Barback special.
Oh, all right. And the
They
ingredients
actually
are
won't tell us what recipe it is. We just assume that it's good and will get us drunk.
that is science after my own heart. That's science I can believe in. Now tell us about barback. What makes barback go? Look at that. Truly a bar on your back.
As you can see, barback is fully portable, powered by RC airplane batteries, Tupperware, and a couple microcontrollers.
Well, see, but sometimes the simplest answers are the best. Is anybody, look at that, there's the brain right there. That's where it is. Now, I mean, is anybody else walking around right now having cocktails around you?
Hey, Adam, you want to wave?
This is our
We found a participant that needs a refill. And as you can see, it could be performed at social distance safety.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you could get the pressure up a little, you could probably do that from across the street.
just at the touch of a button.
We're not trying to compete with the kamikaze cannon.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right. Now, barback is obviously a utilitarian, helpful robot. But what would you say was the most challenging part of this build?
Well, I would say it almost lit on fire a couple of times, which was probably the biggest thing to overcome.
Yep. We shot large sparks and we burnt large pieces of copper while connecting batteries on multiple occasions. So, delivering enough power in a portable fashion proved to be quite a bit of a challenge.
Okay, but it sounds more to me like an opportunity, because you may have created not just a mobile bartender, but also a flamethrower.
Could be, yes.
So, little from column A, little from column B.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a question for you. Barback, you've already said it can be used offensively, but does barback have a self-destruct system? And if so, what triggers it?
Well, I'm pretty sure if you perform something like a ninja roll in this, it would blow up.
This is the barrel roll free zone over here.
The policy is slow movements.
Well, that is very
It's
good
a casual
to know.
stroll of a robot, not a fast run.
Which it's a lovely day for.
Oh, yeah. I feel strongly that you, wearing the robot, have definitely taken courage in science to a whole new level. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it does, if you're drunk enough, whatever, right? Yeah.
Oh, God, I hit it by accident.
Oh, my
the
goodness.
button is really sensitive.
And it's on my hand.
I love the fact
going great.
that Team Allebelle believes so
sorry,
strongly.
there's a correction there.
What's that?
Sorry, there's a correction there. It's actually Allebelle Industries.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Allebelle Industries. I feel that it says a lot that the two of you have taken this science so seriously that you are out amongst the people today getting drunk in the name of science.
We're here to do whatever service we can during these unprecedented times.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, God bless you both. And would you say, if you had to choose, which robot most resembles barback? Is it R2-D2, Bender, or Cyberdyne Systems Model 101?
It's funny you mention R2 because I personally thought a lot of the inspiration came from Master Yoda.
Well, that sounds like something you need to explain. But tell me about that.
Well, barback, hanging out on the back, ensuring Sam will always be in peak physical performance with wisdom-like pourings.
Oh, that's true. Wow. I
So
never
I'm gonna
really
have to
thought
say
about
R2
that.
then.
Well, ultimately, Yoda lived a life of pure Jedi training and educating, and in many ways, getting drunk on the sidewalk is just the same thing. Well, I've got to tell you guys, your robot is very fun. I love the fact that it comes with its own jumpsuits and that you took this to the streets. Team Allebelle Industries, thank you so much for joining us here at the Cocktail Robotics 2020 Gala. I hope we'll certainly see you live when we can all get back together again at DNA Lounge.
Sure look forward to it.
Yes, please.
Stay outside and keep drinking.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
We're glad we got this one together this year.
Oh, yes.
We were putting it together this morning and had to change our time because we hadn't finished.
Well, that's the perfect reason.
Yeah, we appreciate you accommodating us.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Have a
All
good
right,
rest of the day.
Thanks a lot.
And now let's go to Katherine the Great and the Tea Engine. Hello, Katherine. Good to see you again.
Hello.
I see you are sporting some of your tinware awards you've won in previous Cocktail Robotics challenges. What a beautiful
Indeed.
award you've got there. Look, we could have got a better look at that, could we? Oh,
Yes.
it's
So
gorgeous.
this was my this is my third place trophy, and I do not remember which year it came from.
Well, the important thing is you won something, and that matters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So,
Indeed.
so Katherine, welcome, and the Tea Engine. Tell us about the Tea Engine.
So the Tea Engine was made from a coffee service from the 1920s.
Very nice.
And I sort of hacked into it and soldered it differently and added spouts where there had been previously no spouts and valves where there had previously been no valves. And I set it up to run off of an old rotary phone dial.
Oh.
So I'm not sure if that shows up on camera. Let me just tweak this so,
So-
you can see
Oh,
the
yeah,
rotary
there it
phone
is.
dial.
So the
Yeah.
technology matches the silverware, you might say.
Absolutely. It's my personal philosophy about building drink bots is that the sort of human drink bot interface needs to be really tactile and enjoyable. I love making sure to make it a really enjoyable experience to use the drink bot, and whether it's putting your finger in the old-fashioned rotary phone dial hole, or you'll see in a little while the TikiTron, which I was part of the team that built that, throwing a sacrifice into the volcano, something that's just really, really tactile and satisfying, because
Absolutely.
we spend so much time with a touch screen and with keyboard and with mice, and that's one way of interacting with the computer. But when you're designing your own machine, you can create anything you can imagine is the way that you get the machine to control itself. So
Absolutely,
I really
yes.
appreciate that creativity.
You talked about adding valves and taps and so forth. What would you say was the most challenging part of this build?
I think the most challenging part was actually the coding, because the physical part of fabricating a drink bot is pretty easy for me, because I'm a designer. I've been a seamstress for years and years, and so actually, learning how to solder silver and that kind of things, soldering electronics, that's easy. But the actual coding and the logic of, how to get a machine, how to talk to a machine
Yep.
is the part that I find tricky.
Now, of course, this Cocktail Robotics Gala is in exile as we make our way through the pandemic. Would you say that the tea service that you have created, would you say that this tea service is adapted well to the COVID-19 experience?
I think, well, as far as a sort of single service or a household robot, you know, I think this is adapted well because it is very domestic to have a nice cup of tea. You know, it's not designed for social distancing because you do have to get really close to it, but you know, it is small enough that it can fit on my kitchen counter, and I could have it, you know, for my own personal tea service if I wanted to.
And certainly within your own pod, you could have your tea
I think
service,
it's not like I don't know if I could modify it for a 6-foot social distance, because part of it is that it's, you know, I designed it to be a petite robot. I didn't want it to take up a bunch of space and be hard to load into venues and load out. Like, it all fits in one little bin, and that was part of its design, is that it's small. I meant it to be small.
And then what are your options with the tea engine?
Well, so I have it actually set up so that you can have it as, you can have a boozy service, or you can have a, you know, daytime friendly service with
could still be
cream
a
and or with milk and sugar syrup. Right now it is set for boozy service because, hey, who doesn't need a little more booze in their lives during the pandemic?
Yes, certainly now.
So with the flip of a switch, I can, you know, adjust the timing so that it dispenses a nice amount of alcohol. Right now it has, it's loaded with ginger liqueur and peach liqueur, and the main tea body is loaded with Earl Grey tea right now. So
I feel like ginger liqueur and peach liqueur are great burlesque dancer names. So
the liqueur twins, right?
How does it operate? Show us what she does.
So I'm gonna do the ginger liqueur because that's my personal preference. So you would just use that rotary phone dial and spin it back, and it opens the valve for the ginger liqueur, which you can see dispensing now from this side in lieu of creamer. So it's just a little stream, and now the valve on the tea valve has opened, and now it's dispensing the hot tea.
Oh,
I'm gonna angle it. It's not terribly full, so it's just a little stream. You take your time.
Yeah.
This is not a drink bot that you rush.
No. Tea is definitely a process. It's not something that you just grab and go.
No, you can't rush a good cup of tea.
Oh, look at that, though. It's filling up.
Still pouring.
Looks
still
delicious.
filling up. I know, it's gonna be delicious.
Now, if it was me there, I'd probably be pushing the peach liqueur, but you know.
The peach, yeah, the peach is pretty good. I have a pretty high class ginger liqueur loaded, so I know that one's pretty good. So here we are with our
give it a go. Oh, how is it?
Oh, it's so nice and warm on a cloudy day.
Oh,
lovely.
Perfect. Well, it looks delicious. The tea engine's already a prize winner. And of course, thank you so much, Katherine the Great. You're a wonderful scientist, and you have beautiful creations. Thank you so much for being a part of the 2020 Cocktail Robotics Gala.
It is my pleasure. Thank you for including me.
Of course. All right. Well, people of Earth, we will be moving on to check out another robot and another scientist. And once again, thank you, Katherine the Great and the Tea Engine.
Thank you.
We are here with one of the most venerable and well-known scientists in this field. Of course, I am talking about Dr. Bombay, the creator and inventor of TikiTron. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our great guest, Dr. Bombay. Doctor, good to see you again.
Good day, sir. Good day. How are you, sir?
Oh, I noticed that there's a sign behind you. What is that all about?
Well, since the pandemic began, I have been stuck on this tropical island with the great volcano, and we're running low on sacrifices right now. So SOS, we have a desperate call out for more sacrifices.
Oh, sure.
So that we can drink more.
So when you say running low on sacrifices, drink more, I'm seeing that there may be a connection between sacrifices and cocktails.
Just maybe. Just maybe.
All right. Well, TikiTron, of course, and you, Doctor, are no stranger to the Cocktail Robotics Gala. But we have so many more viewers here on the internet. Perhaps you can take us for a look at the process of TikiTron.
Oh, very good, very good. First of all, I need to show you, of course, the lovely collection of trophies we've been adding over the years.
Dad, you know what? You got it. Flaunt it, baby. Flaunt it. Yeah.
Ooh.
Surprise, surprise. Look at all those beautiful awards.
And now what we have, I'm going to change the camera here and go switch and see if this works. Yes, it does. Yes. So
beautiful. TikiTron, we love you. You're always a favorite. Look at that gorgeous, gorgeous table of tiki cups. So nice. What a beautiful setup. I assume that's there every day.
Of course. It is underneath our 110-year-old palm tree.
Ooh.
It's been around for a while. So it seemed appropriate to have TikiTron situated in this lovely location.
Now, wait a minute. You say that palm tree is 110 years old.
Yes, it is.
Were you there when it was planted?
I may or may not have a time machine.
Oh, wait, you do. There's you have friends with a peppermint tea time machine out front. Yeah.
Well, don't call me Dr. Bombay for nothing.
That's right. That's right. So, Doctor, I have a question for TikiTron. You may answer, but I need to hear TikiTron's answer to this question. TikiTron, you flip a tortoise over on its back. The belly is baking and it needs your help to flip over, but you're not helping. Why is that?
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. It seems TikiTron is not saying anything. He seems kind of speechless at the moment.
Oh, well, all right. Understood. I mean, that was a rough question. And, you know, TikiTron's not the first robot who's heard it. I can tell you that. But let's move on then. Tell us about TikiTron and how TikiTron operates.
Oh, goodness. Heavens. Alrighty. So let's see if I can switch gears here and show myself here and the world famous TikiTron. Yes,
Ooh, that's a.
So here we go.
That's a beautiful shot.
Yeah. So the only major improvement since the last time you've seen it is that Megan Lush, our lovely artistic designer and fabricator, she enhanced the face. So now it looks much more dramatic.
Yes.
And we have more of a truly tiki idol Hollywood-esque visage.
Yes.
Quite dramatic. And
I do notice the
improvements.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yes. And two-part epoxy does wonders to make it much more rock solid. So we're very happy about that.
Two-part epoxy. That's exactly the way these things are always made.
Yes, it's direct from nature. Exactly. Direct from nature. Absolutely. Exactly. And since we are at home in the Tiki Island, we do have, I can present out my favorite collection of classic tiki mugs that we have here from various and sundry tiki bars from all over the world. This one's actually from France. They do have tiki bars in France.
I wouldn't have guessed that, but yeah, all right.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah, gorgeous.
So, yes. And of course, we have our famous collection of tiki idols here to choose from. Various and sundry idols.
Well, I like the
you choose your drink. These are the actual sacrifices themselves.
Nice.
And so we always need to refresh them and be able to drop them into the volcano. Oh, you see the secret right there. Ooh,
don't look at that. No, that's a secret. That's magic.
That's secret.
Now,
and as usual,
behind them though, what's in that little shack there?
That is our famous tiki hut. That has all the ingredients. 12 pumps that hold has all the ingredients, including 3 different types of rum and lime juice, lemon juice, passion fruit juice, orgeat, all sorts of wonderful things that make TikiTron run.
Oh my, that's sort of the lifeblood of TikiTron back there.
That is it. This is where it all happens, right here in the Tiki Hut. And to make it all work, behind the foliage here, you can see the foliage, we have the brain.
Oh, this is the CPU of TikiTron.
The CPU. So we have a Raspberry Pi computer here with a monitor and devices that help control all the pumps and motors associated with it. It's all in this nice, lovely case, protected from water. And we have a nice waterproof keyboard and all the plugs and wiring below it. It's fantastic. And in the back, we have speakers. And look,
and a smoke machine.
Yes, homemade smoke machine. And a chute where the idols will drop in and they do their magic. And they talk to the computer, which does its thing. And then all the lights turn on and the pumps start running. And drinks are made.
Oh, well, see, that's exactly the sort of behind the scenes look that the Cocktail Robotics Gala is all about, because other scientists out there in the world are going to be inspired by TikiTron.
Yes. And as you can see, some of the details of the innards, they got the Raspberry Pi and the motor hats all connected here. You know, the DB29 going over to the Tiki Hut for controlling all the motor pumps, and then the DB5 here going over to the volcano, so it handles all the lights and other things. We try to do it the Disney style, like to hide the animatronics, so they look like they're alive, they're real.
That's right. Yes, this is the premier version of the Tiki Room at Disneyland, which could only have been made better with alcohol.
Exactly. And of course, here's lovely Katherine and Kiki.
Wow, you guys got here quick.
Yeah, magically, they just showed up so quickly.
Must have been that Tesla.
Exactly, the magic Tesla time machine. Oops, wait, I didn't say that. Did I have a time machine? Shh, I didn't have that.
Quiet. No one knows about that.
No one knows about the time machine. But yes, they are instrumental to the creation and maintenance of TikiTron.
Ooh, that's a great team of scientists. They've built so many wonderful robots. But now that we're all here, maybe it's time to put TikiTron through his paces.
Would someone like to assist and hold this camera while I raise the volume a little bit? And get some ice.
Okay.
So we have a quality Maui mug.
Beautiful.
Moai. I've been
right.
corrected by the librarian. Good. We have some ice in here. Excellent. And now, whoops, don't worry about that. Now we're going to drop it into the cave.
Yes.
It's a close look at the cave. So we have to position him properly so that all the drinks go into.
This is indeed a very Hollywood experience.
Yes. And now, where should we go? Oh, yes. So I'm going to choose one of my favorite sacrifices.
Oh, yeah.
Called Trader Vic Grog.
So fierce.
Worthy of sacrifice.
Science should always have a little bit of horror in it, you know?
Yes, it is Halloween, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not scared of it, is it really science? I don't know.
It's weird science, absolutely, yes. All right, are you ready?
We're ready here at DNA Lounge. Let's see what TikiTron can do.
So now, oh, great TikiTron, bow down to the great Tiki God. Oh, TikiTron. Oh, TikiTron. Oh, TikiTron. Oh, TikiTron. We're trapped. Our sacrifice in. Did you hear that? Did you hear that scream?
My goodness. The volcano is exploding.
Quick, look at the glass. Look at the glass. Oh, my goodness. It's making a drink.
Oh, my goodness. What's it making?
It's making a drink. It's making a Trader Vic grog.
Oh,
look at the eyes. It's glowing.
That's power. That's right there. That is science in action, ladies and gentlemen. Science in action.
Oh my God. All right, here we go. So now, this drink requires a secret ingredient because I didn't have time to create a 13th pump.
Okay.
All I'm going to put is a little bitters in it. It's the only one that requires a manual insertion, just a little bit of a special thing. Everything else is automated.
Right.
And now, stir it in with a straw. And then I must take off my mask.
Oh no! Ah! You're brave.
There we go.
All right.
Let's have the TikiTron behind me. Yes, we do this. Yes, yes, yes. There we go. Ready?
Enjoy. Enjoy. Oh, that looks refreshing.
I think I could survive the pandemic a little bit longer.
Yes. And, you know, I mean, if everybody had the wherewithal to have a TikiTron in their own home, I think the pandemic would just breeze right by.
Indeed, indeed. Yes, yes. Nothing like a good quality cocktail.
And it's a good quality cocktail indeed. I have enjoyed TikiTron's wares in the past, and TikiTron makes a great drink.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh.
And of course, always a crowd favorite.
And now I would love to have my friends with me in front of the camera at the same time, all of us.
Yes, please. Circle
Katherine
in.
And Kiki and Megan, who's not here, we're all very grateful for your support and supporting mad science. We appreciate that.
Absolutely. And thank you, members of the Peppermint Tesla, the TikiTron, and the T-Engine, three of the greatest robots and greatest scientists this community has ever known. Thank you so much for being with us today, and we look forward to seeing all of you in the future when we can all gather together once again at DNA Lounge.
Yes, now it is time to drink.
Drink! Drink indeed!
Well, what an amazing time we've had with all of these incredible scientists and their remarkable cocktail robots. Friends, don't forget that donate button, because with your help, all of our communities coming together to keep DNA Lounge alive during this plague, so that in the future we can all of us gather together once again for Cocktail Robotics and so many other fabulous events. Once again, my name is Dr. Kingfish, and thank you for joining us at the 2020 Cocktail Robotics Challenge.
Hi, Mike Collins and Gene Zeller. We're here in our Channel 17 studios along with a whole group of volunteers, all of whom are anxiously waiting to take your membership pledge for DNA Lounge. I want to point out that in just about 8 or 9 minutes, we're coming up to the making of MASH. And those of you who saw it before are probably looking forward to seeing it again. Those of you who didn't, it's a very, very worthwhile program. You really want to watch it. It's a lot of fun. And then you can tune right in at 11:30 to MASH on another television channel. And but this tells about the making of MASH. So it's a great, great program. You want to be with us for that. So stay tuned. Right now, though, we had a very, very fine program with Jane Goodall. We hope you enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, we just bought this program a few weeks ago so that we could have it for this membership period. We hope you enjoyed it, but we hope you'll do more than that. We hope you'll want to support science programming, nature programming here on Channel DNA Lounge. Whenever we ask people what their favorite programs are, inevitably, science programming comes out at the top of the list. And if you enjoy science programs here on Channel DNA Lounge, National Geographic or Jacques Cousteau specials or the NOVA programs or Survival or Wild Wild World of Animals, or whatever they might be, call us now with a membership pledge. Q&A Lounge. Important that you do so that we can keep these programs on the air. We have a lot of membership pledge levels, and Jean's going to tell you about those.
I certainly am. You can join us at the $60 level if you'd like, and we'll bill you $5 a month if you'll allow us that privilege. We'll send you a self-addressed return envelope. Or perhaps you'd like to join at the $120 level, and at that level we have a brand new premium, and this is one of the most magnificent books we've ever offered. This is an encyclopedia of the animal world. It contains beautiful pictures, and I just happen to have my finger, coincidentally, on the page that shows baboons. It ties in very well with the program. It also contains a whole section on insects, underwater animals. This will be a marvelous reference book for you and your family, and this is just one of the premiums that you may select at the $120 level. There is a whole list of premiums that we'll send your way when you make your membership pledge tonight. But it's quiet in the studio. You could be the first person to make your membership pledge for science programs on Channel 17. We know you enjoy them. We know that there are thousands of you watching right now, but we need to hear from you. We schedule very special programs during our membership campaigns to entice you into membership, true, but also to give you an idea of what Channel 17 could be like all the time, not just for special events, but all year long, and the only thing that's preventing it is dollars and cents. You could change that tonight. You could make a big, big difference with your pledge of $180 or $120 or $60, $40, $25. It's really up to you. You tune into this station, decide what these programs are worth, put our volunteer operators to work tonight for you. There is a history of the show. It's very much like the television program you're watching right now. There's a summary of each of the episodes along with the cast members. They list the awards. There are even some baby pictures of the stars. Now, this can be your premium if you elect it at the $60 level, and of course you can charge that to MasterCharge or Visa or ChargeX, or you can let us bill you $5 a month. That's up to you. But right now we need these phones to ring, and we need you to make that happen. 881-4800.
There's still more to come of the Making of MASH, but we'd like to take at least 50 new members for Q&A Lounge. Now, I'll tell you something. This is going to be our last break for this evening, so we're going to ask you please to go to that telephone and make that membership pledge now. We're running a little bit behind for this evening, and so what we need to do is have you call to make a membership pledge for Q&A Lounge. 716-881-4800. Make that membership pledge for Q&A Lounge. Now, don't wait any longer. Don't say, well, I'll do it on the next break. There won't be a next break, folks. This is the one tonight. If you're enjoying the Making of MASH, and where else would you see it but here at Channel 17, call us with a membership pledge. You know, the Making of MASH we first had on the air, about a month and a half ago, and it was one of the most watched programs on Channel 17 on all of public television nationally this season. So we thought we'd bring it back. Any program that had that many people watching it, we thought to ourselves, well, that's one that obviously people would like to see again. They probably told their friends about it, and there were a lot of people who just missed the program the first time, and now we'll be looking forward to seeing it. So here it is, the Making of MASH. We have more to come, and we'll be going on till probably 11:30, 11:40 with the Making of MASH. So call in now. Make your membership pledge to Q&A Lounge. We've got about 15 telephones busy. We'd like to see 35 telephones busy in this studio with membership pledges for Q&A Lounge. We have to get at least 10,000 new members for Q&A Lounge by the time we wind up this membership drive. And the only way we're going to get 10,000 new members is if you go to your telephone and participate. If you go to your phone and make a telephone call for Q&A Lounge. You can do it tonight. We have to get 500 new members, people who aren't now members at Q&A Lounge, every single night that we're on the air for the next 20 nights. So we need your membership pledge of support. So please, go to that phone now, make your membership pledge for Q&A Lounge. Decide to do what you've been wanting to do all along, what you've been telling yourself you really should do all along, and that's become a member. Let me go over the membership categories again. I want to start with a big new one that we've added, and when I say a big new one, I mean a big new one. We have, you won't believe this, we have a $1,200 membership category. It's the brand new Festival 81 membership category. And I'll tell you, we have a super premium for it. You can pay it off at the rate of $100 a month, but we have as a premium for that an RCA color television set. And that is cable ready, cable access ready. It is push button electronic tuning. It's a marvelous set. It brings in
TNA Lounge
terrifically. That's the first thing we tested when we got it here in the shop, and it's just a beautiful set. We also have another new membership, and that is the $600 membership, which can be paid at the rate of $50 a month, and for that you can choose as your premium, after you've paid it up, if you pay it on a monthly basis, this beautiful black and white RCA portable television set, and that once again, all the channels including
TNA Lounge.
It has a nice smoky glass screen that you can use. If you take it out, you can run it off a cigarette lighter, as a matter of fact. There's an attachment that you can do that, and you can use this screen to block out the sun and so on if you take it out on the beach or on a boat or something like that. It's a great, great thing. Both of those are